Hey YouTube, it's your boy Jerry Mouse again here with another video. We're doing chapter 4 of the power of awareness, and today's chapter is about desire. Now, before I get into it, I want to reiterate what's going to be reiterated here, that in the last chapter we talked about the power of assumption, and that in order for there to be a change in your world, you need to change the feeling that you have, what you're conscious of, towards the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And we're going to reiterate that in this one, in this chapter. Very short chapter, very straight to the point. Again, repeating the same phrases, the same notions. That's what we're going to get out of this chapter. So pay attention really closely. The key words I will highlight as I read this. But what I want you to do, the one that's listening to this, is really consider, as you're listening to me, that you already are the person that you want to be. All right? Let's dive right into it. Chapter 4, Desire. The changes which take place in your life as a result of your changed concept of yourself always appear to the unenlightened to be the result not of a change of your consciousness, but of chance, outer cause, or coincidence. However, the only fate governing your life is the fate determined by your own concepts, your own assumptions. For an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. The ideal you seek and hope to attain will not manifest itself, will not be realized by you until you have imagined that you already are the ideal. There is no escape for you except by a radical psychological transformation of yourself, except by your assumption of the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Therefore, make results or accomplishments the crucial test of your ability to use your imagination. Everything depends on your attitude towards yourself. That which you will not affirm as true of yourself can never be realized by you, for the attitude alone is the necessary condition by which you realize your goal. All transformation is based upon suggestion, and this can work only where you lay yourself completely open to an influence. You must abandon yourself to your ideal as a woman abandons herself to love, for complete abandonment of self to it is the way to union with your ideal. You must assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled until your assumption has all sensory vividness of reality. You must imagine that you are already experiencing what you desire. That is, you must assume the feeling of the fulfillment of your desire until you are possessed by it, and this feeling crowds all other ideas out of your consciousness. The man who is not prepared for the conscious plunge into the assumption of the wish fulfilled in the faith that it is the only way to the realization of his dream is not ready to live consciously by the law of assumption, although there is no doubt that he does live by the law of assumption unconsciously. But for you, who accept this principle and are ready to live by consciously assuming that your wish is already fulfilled, the adventure of life begins. To reach a higher level of being, you must assume a higher concept of yourself. If you will not imagine yourself as other than what you are, then you remain as you are. For if ye believe not that I am he, ye shall die in your sins. John 8:24. If you do not believe that you are he, the person that you want to be, then you remain as you are. Through the faithful systematic cultivation of the feeling of the wish fulfilled, desire becomes the promise of its own fulfillment. The assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled makes your future dream a present fact. All right. So there's a lot there. And for a chapter about desire, it only mentions desire 2 or 3 times. In one of Neville's lectures, he talks about desire is the wellspring of action. And it can be kind of a confusing phrase when you hear that. What you need to consider, though, is when you have a desire for something, let's say you're experiencing something in this life and you don't like it, that right there is showing you a desire. And the fact that you have that desire, if you know this law, the fact that you have this desire is telling you you have access to its fulfillment. The very fact that you have the desire means that you also have its end. All you have to do is be open to the suggestion that you already are that person. The very fact that you have the desire implies to an imaginative person that you already have it. It's your refusal to assume that feeling. What feeling? The feeling of the wish fulfilled, the feeling of already having it. By you not assuming that feeling, you are denying your desire. And you'll always be in that state of lack, that state of fear, that state of wanting. So if you want to see a change on the outside world, again, I'm going to repeat this over and over again for the next 23 chapters, that if you just persist in the knowing, persist in the feeling that you already are the person, it will harden into fact. I have a client who, when we met, she was struggling with her ex. She was wanting a new place. She was feeling estranged from her adult children. And I explained to her, look, you have there's a lot of desire there. And that tells me that you already are this person. Sorry, my child sneezed. But that tells me that you already are this person. She's like, yeah, but like I have to do this and I have to do that. And I understand that. That's your old man state. That's the state that has the desire. The desire implies that you are meant to be at a higher level of consciousness. So all she would need to do is start seeing that she is happily loved by her family members and that she happily loves her family members, that she's living in the house of her dreams already. The very fact that she has the desire implies it. It already implies to me that the whole world is unfolding as we speak. All it's waiting on is her to accept that she's already that person, to persist in the assumption of the wish fulfilled. Desire implies its fulfillment. All you need to do is accept it. All right? So all that said, you who's desiring, you're listening to this video, you're like, how do I get this thing, or why isn't it showing up? The very fact that you're saying that to me, saying that to this camera, tells me that you already are this person. Now let's assume that that's true. You guys are wonderful. Peace and hair grease.